Thick and Thin.
Hello everybody, my name is Grayson Melton. This is my co-host Garrison Gabriel. Welcome back to the Thick and Thin Show.
How are y'all doing today? I'm Garrison, as he just introduced. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm alright, man. It's good to see you, dude.
It's been a while.
I know, dude. Oh, yeah.
Missed you.
Yep. I know, I missed you too, man. How you been?
Already tearing stuff up.
I know, dude. What you been up to, man?
Just working my butt off.
I hear that too, dude.
Oh, just trying to make it through this cold weather. It's been rough, you know?
It's
I work out in the
ridiculous.
cold. I mean, it's been...
It's the wind. The wind is really the thing that does it for me, dude. It cuts. It could be still cold out here. The second that wind comes in.
Oh, it's terrible. Like, cuts through your clothes.
It does.
Only thing I have to say about the whole thing is, like, global warming what?
Bring it back.
What? What are we talking
Where
about?
is it at?
Why is it 17 degrees outside? Please tell me where this global warming is, because I've been begging for it all week. I've been begging for it. I've been begging for the sun to cook me. I'm wearing 3 layers of clothes outside every single day.
Yeah.
And someone keeps telling me, hey, I'm about to spend another $1 billion on this research. Why is it 17 degrees outside?
Right. What, didn't we put $1 trillion into the Paris Climate Accord? And what did we solve global warming? No, we didn't.
No, we took a couple planes, did a couple crop dusts in the sky to block out the sun, and then just called it quits.
Bill Gates even, he's the one that initiated that idea, and it's like, so you're telling me.
And now he's all cool with it. Like,
you gave him $1 trillion and then just let this globalist go crazy with this. Like, that was not why did we... That was a terrible idea. Speaking of global warming, it's not just global warming. Did you know the world, we lose temperature as well? Climate change, it's both. There's global warming, but there's also global cooling. And also, global warming... It's nowhere near the scale to which people freak out about. The Earth's temperature rises 0 to the 7th power or the 8th. Don't quote me on that, but 0.000001% of a degree every single year, and that can go up, but that can also come down. Usually it goes up for a long time, but then it goes down for a long time. So. I don't know what the fuss is about.
No, me neither. They say, California is just going to be underwater. It's going to be underwater in millions of years.
Yeah, that's a true statement, but it'll be a long time.
I mean, if you're not out of there in millions of years, I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, dude, I don't...
Like the wildfires, I'm just going to it. No, I'm kidding. My heart's out to all those people out there.
True that.
With the wildfires.
Honestly, if you're in California and you're experiencing that, we're so sorry. That is terrible. But what's also, I think, the worst thing about it, not to politicize it, but the government should be stepping in and helping out with that. And Trump, Trump said he would enact initiatives to help pay the families to rebuild their houses. But it's why?
Because guess who just cut all their insurances out underneath them?
Exactly.
All their insurance policies with all these that they've been paying for years and years.
All these companies
took all of it away from them as soon as there's a wildfire.
But it was even... Some of them, State Farm did it a week before the fire started, which is weird. About to happen. They knew it was going to happen. You know, that's what's weird. Anytime you see an event like this take place, and it could be a natural disaster, it could be an artificial disaster. Like planes getting hit by. We won't talk about
it. Into towers.
But yeah, if you look at the insurance companies and their moves prior to an event like that, or other people's prior to an event like that, it's really interesting. It's almost as if it was done systematically, if it was done on purpose. That was another weird thing about that. There are satellite images of 3 fires starting in the perfect areas in which they needed to start in California. If I'm looking at the map right now in my head, there's homes right here and mountains all right here, and the fires start down here by the houses, up here in the mountains, and then like on the left. And they all, like you could see all the smoke pop up at the same exact time, like someone pressed a button. That's so weird to me. Maybe there's nothing to that. Maybe 3 fires just started at the same time. Maybe that's just natural.
I will add to that statement right there.
Yeah.
You know, we had something very recently that looked very similar to this. The Hawaii fires.
The Hawaii fires.
My.
The Hawaii fires were a weird thing.
This? I know, but do we not remember the exact same thing unraveling? Not just but a couple months ago? A couple fires go down, insurance policies, they all pull out.
They tried to, yeah.
Yep, and they did. They all pulled out. They said, screw you, this is your problem now.
To be completely fair, the California Insurance Commissioner did step forth and hold them all liable and say, nope, you can't back out of this. Hadn't been for that guy, a lot of these families would be screwed. But yeah, the Hawaii fires was crazy for an entirely different reason. There was evidence.
The similarities between the two.
But yes, but the similarities in that all of these real estate giants and moguls and BlackRock want to come in and buy the land. Here's $700,000. We'll do the cleanup and buy the land. You won't need it. Your house burned down. Yeah. You don't need it. Go live somewhere else.
This lot.
We'll relocate you somewhere. Here's $700,000. That was the offer. The BlackRock. Well, I don't know if it was BlackRock, but more than likely, because that's what they do. They did that in Ukraine during the war, the Rebuild Initiative to get land and ownership and property, etc. They're doing the same thing in California right now, and they did the same thing in Hawaii. But what was interesting was that like we saw celebrities who were putting in bids to get that property and that land. And the other thing that was weird is that the military was in those zones, in the fire zones, restricting people from coming back to their houses. What's up with that? That's weird.
Like almost like they're performing and
something.
Yes, like they're doing something.
Something weird. Something weird is with that.
Like a massive laser starting a fire.
That's what I was about. Okay, that was definitely
a satellite shooting beams down.
Well, it could have been a satellite. It also there's a video. They took a Boeing 747, and it's like this. It's a ball. It's an attachment on the nose of the plane. You know what I'm talking about? Just for the audience, it's like it's a giant. Like a cylinder, and there's like a reflective material within on the insides of it, and there's a ball in the middle, and somehow, some way, in ways that's way above my pay grade, it shoots a friggin' laser that can go hundreds of miles. It can travel hundreds of miles and hit a target with 100% accuracy. And you see it in the sky, it's like a flash of lightning.
Well, I mean, it is. It's light traveling. It's energy. It's straight energy. That's all that's being released is just a whole bunch of energy being released on one point.
That's terrifying to think about. And the destruction in Hawaii would suggest that it was that. And there's 2 things about that that's weird. There were several buildings, a church in particular that I'm thinking of, along with the other houses that was in that same line. There was a perfect slice straight through these buildings. The foundations of these houses had a clear split through the roof, through the foundation, through the walls. It was almost as if a giant with a knife just went over to the building and went. That's weird.
That really sounds like a wildfire to me.
It sounds like just a naturally occurring wildfire.
Crazy wildfire.
Man, these fires are just ramping up.
That fire of mine had an axe on him.
We never know. What are you gonna do? You're just gonna let BlackRock roll in there and buy all the property?
No, because as soon as they own all the land underneath us, what can we do? Because they can tax us out.
Right.
They can rent us out.
Yeah, exactly. And that.
I mean, if they control everything, and then that means they also control the businesses that are on that land.
That's exactly right. That's what they're doing in Ukraine.
That they raise their rates. That means that they have to let people go, or they have to raise.
It's like it establishes control. It's a power grab, and it's a land grab. It's
What's gonna be funny?
systematically done, and it's terrifying that they're capable. But I mean, that's let's disperse that that is technically a conspiracy, but it has all the telltale signs of it being exactly what we said it was.
If I had money, if I had millions of dollars, why would you not go buy up all the land? I mean, that's what everyone does. That's what's at, right? All the mineral rights, oil.
I hate in hard times to do that, but it's like, realistically, if I had money, you buy the land, the cheap land. It's a smart investment, and it's like, yeah, of course people are gonna do that. It's crazy though, just to think that there's a force out there capable of just doing that just because they want it. It's like,
like you always hear about, like, we're gonna blow ourselves back to the Stone Age.
mm-hmm.
All this power that they have, buying up the land, everything like that, it's all gonna be gone. That little piece of paper is not gonna be worth much.
Yeah, man. I just think the craziest part about that, I remember on TikTok, not on any other social media platform, on TikTok, I was able to see videos of all these Hawaiians who were in the water at the border of their houses with armed guards looking at them saying, you can't come on this property. And they're saying, that's literally my house. It's literally the land my family's been on for hundreds of years. And these Coast Guards are going, you can't come on your own land. And it's just like, what natural disasters do you see armed forces showing up to? Well, there's relief, right?
Hurricane Katrina.
Sure, when it's bad enough, you see that. But when does the military show up to just regular fires?
Before the natural disaster. When do they ever show up before?
Right. It's
like Hurricane Katrina. I mean, like, even though we knew it was coming, you can't predict a wildfire. I mean, besides like wildfire season,
Right. It's just strange. And it is sad because a lot of people did lose their lives and lose their homes, and some people lost families, some people lost everything that they had, and that can't just be forgotten about. That can't be. That's what they want. They want us to forget about it, to not look into it, and you know what I mean. It's unfortunate. It's just very unfortunate. We're really sorry again if you're experiencing that or going through that. We're sorry for you. And yeah, man.
We really haven't done much to support, but hey, we got our hearts and prayers.
Should we? I mean, that's the thing. Our government should be
doing this. This is what we pay taxes for every.
Right. Exactly. I want to see my tax money.
The 20% or 25% I pay in federal taxes every year.
30%.
30%. I want to see that go and do something.
I want to see that going to stuff like this, because where else is it going?
Or it's also too that 50% of our taxes go to local government.
Maybe, I don't know about that.
I think it's a high percentage. A majority of our taxes.
You could be right.
Yep.
Interesting.
It's just like you see it, how they use it here in our community.
I see it sometimes in my city. You know what I mean? It's just like, but I don't see enough of it.
Yeah, you would think like how much we're paying into it. What are we doing with the money?
Right. I should be able to visually see it. Exactly. Some things I can't physically see. Maybe it's like.
And they make it so complicated that we can't see it.
Well, they pretend
make the numbers,
that it's complicated.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yes,
they
definitely.
Cook their books.
They could explain it to where it is easy and to understand, but they choose not to.
Right. That's unfortunate, man. You know what? I want to be a part of a nation where its people are once again proud of the government, being proud of... And I am a proud American. A lot of people are still. I'm not saying I'm not a patriot. I'm just saying there was once upon a time where the government was more so trustworthy, seemingly, and at some point, somewhere along the line, that disappeared. It dissipated.
Well, just look at the people we have in politics. I feel like that's where we've gone wrong. It's not
we've allowed
the
that
George
to happen.
Washingtons of the world. It's
exactly that's very interesting. the quality of
the Abe Lincolns, the Honest Abes. You know, we don't have a lot of that coming in. The Teddy Roosevelts, the defy all odds.
The revolutionary,
you know, it's like live through.
history, right.
Yep, you know, like these amazing leaders and generals, and Andrew Jackson's another great.
It's a great point, man. Like
George Washington. I mean, our first 10 presidents were, worked in the foundation of building us.
George Washington was a freaking dog, man. He was out there fighting. You know that picture where he's on the front of that boat, where he's standing up, holding the sword, and everybody else is like, "What are you, bro? What are you doing?"
Oh, on Christmas night.
Was that it?
Christmas Eve night?
Dude,
yep.
That is amazing.
Crossing the Delaware River?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Bro, what? That guy is nuts. I love that I love that. So George Washington on was it the Delaware?
Delaware River, sneaking up on the British, because they did not believe anyone in their right mind would cross the Delaware River on Christmas Eve night, and it's freezing
cold, dude. Yeah, he's standing up with his freaking...
And who else but our
legendary.
Ginger horse tooth, wooden tooth, 6'2" first president would cross the Delaware River.
And that is the basis of our country. That is that is literally our founding moments.
I just feel like we've lost our true leaders. Where is our George Washington?
Well, and then again, there's an argument that do we even need that anymore? But in my opinion, absolutely.
Always. You always need a strong leader. Someone who's not a snake in the grass, who has the true intentions of the country at heart.
Correct.
When we created a system where they can't rise up, they can't lead, because they don't have millions and millions and millions of dollars to back up their campaign.
But you know who can? Someone like Donald Trump. Now, I'm not saying that Trump's the greatest human being to ever exist ever.
He's not another George Washington.
But he is someone who previously did a good job. He is previously someone who kept us out of major conflicts. He's someone who boosted the economy. And he's someone who has enough money to not be swayed by any of this backdoor, political scandals and
isn't that sad? That's what we have to think about. We have to put that into consideration when we put in our ballots.
Mm-hmm. You're absolutely right. We have to look at where the money is going. That is so important. Look at what these people are talking about. Who are they talking about? Are they trying to press a board of members on Lockheed Martin, or are they talking to the American people? And I don't know if anybody followed the last election, but there were a lot of candidates that were great at first, and then their narrative started changing to, we got to go to war.
Yeah,
and it's
I feel like Ramaswamy is going to become one of those. And
I don't think so.
Makes me so sad.
I don't think so. I like Ram.
I love Ramaswamy.
I think
that's who. I mean,
he's a dude.
That's who I voted for. I mean, Ramaswamy. I loved his. He had great charisma. I mean, he just looked like he had our.
He's the guy. He's the dude.
Yep.
You know what I mean? He'd be a perfect president. By the way,
but he's just not who we needed
at the moment. You're exactly right. And to elaborate on that, Vivek totally could have been a good president, but Trump, having already a world presence established previously from a previous presidency, and the state at which we were at within the nation, we are in 3 proxy wars right now with 2 of the world's superpowers who hate us.
But so also supply us with all of our needs.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, so it's not smart, Joe, to get us involved in 3 proxy wars, and it's under the guise of a proxy war. But when you're funding the entirety of it, it's you doing it. If I give someone a gun with bullets in it and I grab their hands and I pull the trigger for them, I'm shooting the gun.
How mad we got when the CIA was giving a whole bunch of guns to those African little warlords.
Oh, and
all that. How mad we got about everything.
The Muslim tribes.
Yep. How mad we got about that. We were basically, we're doing the exact same thing there as we did in Ukraine, as we're doing right now.
We did that in Ukraine. We
did that prior to this. The only reason Ukraine's still going right now is because we are funneling money into it.
Oh yeah, Joe Biden. Ask Joe Biden about that.
Yep.
Joe Biden knows a lot about Ukraine, and so does his son. They made a lot of money off of companies in Ukraine, and they also got $91 million in kickbacks. Ukrainian government officials got upset with Biden over something and released all of the numbers at which the kickbacks they've given to politicians. Joe Biden received $91 million from the Ukraine government in kickbacks. So that's interesting.
$91 million.
He was also implementing different political leaders within Ukraine during his term with Barack Obama, which was also strange. He has an interesting relationship with that place, and Ukraine is an extremely corrupt country. They don't have like a constitution. The leader, Zelensky, has delayed democratic elections. He's gotten rid of them, but he said that it was temporary. But he got rid of them. He let a Satanist rebuild the children's school system. Ebrina Abramovic let her completely redesign the children's education system after the war effort. They banned Orthodox Christianity. There's a lot of weird stuff going on. And also, they got barred from entering NATO. Their NATO bid got completely declined unanimously because their books were so cooked. Their books of because the NATO asked them, okay, well, where's all this money that the U.S. is giving you right now? This was recently. This was a couple months ago. They said, where's all this money going to? Where's it at? And the Ukrainian officials were like, we're missing billions of dollars right now. And NATO looked at their books and said, it's so bad, we can't let you in. And they declined them. And it's just like, dude, what is going on right now? Like, that should not be happening. That should not be happening. I don't know, man. Some weird stuff's going on, folks. And we probably won't ever know what's going on.
It's a crazy world. Yeah, we are going to start finding out. We got Donald Trump releasing the Kennedy files.
JFK,
and
RFK, MLK. I'm so excited.
Hitting all the Ks. We got all the Ks. I'm just so excited to hear about it. I've heard some of the craziest theories, and I can't wait to see who's right.
Apparently in 41 days, they'll have everything done. Because the first rendition of those files, it might have been just JFK's, but it was all blacked out. All of it. So it was just like, you released it to us, but you really didn't.
Yeah, no, I remember that when they released it to us in 2024.
A couple years ago. Mm-hmm. Like 2018 or 19.
I thought it was two.
They did. It's a couple times, but every time so far has been.
It's all a black Sharpie through it.
Exactly. It's ridiculous. But now it's going to be the same thing except completely redacted. Or they're going to take off the black stripes.
That's awesome.
Yes, we're getting rid of the red tape. We're going to be able to see what's going on. And to be honest, we probably won't really know what happened still. I'm sure there's a couple pages that are like, actually, well, let's take that. Let's take that out of there. I'm sure. There's no way. There's no way. Unless everyone involved with it is dead, and probably dead. But it's still just like...
No, I feel like it is. Everyone who is involved with it's dead.
They were just waiting for that, probably. There's so many... Guys, look into it. There's so many factors within the JFK assassination that are just too weird.
Oh, just crazy.
This is a conspiracy.
Just crazy.
All
the conspiracies, like that it was just one big accident, that the car in front of him tried to remove his M14 and it fires through the bumper, hits Kennedy in the head.
Makes zero. Yeah. The ballistics of it makes 0%. And if you know anything about
because
guns,
it had those splatter rounds. So they're like, one round had to explode somewhere, and that's why they only found one.
Really?
Yep.
Didn't know that. Interesting.
That's a wild theory that I've heard.
That's interesting. There's so many.
Oh yeah,
so
amazing ones. Just like 9/11. I want to hear that one. Yeah. I want to see. Let's release those files.
Exactly. I think my theory on the JFK files is the driver shot him. Now, there's two different videos. There's a
And
doctored
eyewitnesses.
video, and then there's a non-doctored video in eyewitnesses. There's two videos of this incident, of the entirety of the assassination going down. The first one is clearly doctored. There are trees in the background with the trunks missing from them. There's a lot. It's obviously doctored. Everything in the background of the originally released JFK video is doctored. There is a version. Now, I don't know if it's real or not, I guess, now that I think about it. But what's weird about this video is that in the background, there are those trees there with the stump. And everything in the background looks normal. And within the same video, at the very end of the video, the driver, I believe after the first time he gets shot, the driver reaches over, pulls his right hand out, and shoots JFK in the head, puts his hand down, and at which point you see his wife begin to try to attempt to crawl out of the vehicle. And if that's true, man, how diabolical is that?
Oh, no kidding. Also, another crazy one I've heard. This is a good one.
Okay.
All right. So, Mafia. Huge deal when Kennedy was in office.
Yeah.
That the Mafia funded his campaign and that Kennedy didn't follow through with a couple big promises he made to them, and they took him out. And that's also ties into yours, that the driver took him out. Because the driver wasn't a Secret Service member, that he was someone else.
Really?
Yep.
Didn't know that. I thought he was a Secret Service member.
There's something like that, but paid off. Yeah.
My memory's kind of foggy of it, but yeah.
There's some crazy theories out there.
Something that Jimmy Hoffa had something to do with it. He was probably in correlation with the Mafia,
no.
though.
I think
they funded RFK, his brother, so I mean that's very plausible.
Oh no, I think it was, what's the VP? President right after him. Lyndon B. Johnson. Yep. Lyndon B. Johnson did it.
Probably.
Lyndon B.
That dude was a
Johnson
plant.
had something to do with it.
He was a plant.
I don't care what theory you look at. Somehow, some way, he had a hand in on it.
Well, let's not say he had something to do with it, but he knew it was going to happen.
Yep. He knew this.
He was a player in it.
Came in after the whole thing happened.
And did everything the government wanted him to do, right? Just was a freaking pony for a cash cow for the CIA, for the Federal Reserve. Just let them do whatever they wanted to do. They didn't. Did Lyndon send us to Vietnam? Or did Nixon?
Nixon.
Okay. What did Lyndon do? I need to look more into that guy.
Lyndon just kind of killed a lot of stuff JFK was doing, I thought. Actually, I don't know. I'm not going to say anything because that is a part of history that I'm not...
Let's look it up.
...too sharp on. Ask me World War II, World War I, Civil War, Revolutionary War... I'll hit those topics.
What did Lyndon B. Johnson do? Let's see what ChatGPT has to say about it. Lyndon B. Johnson, the 36th President of the United States from 1963 to 1969, is most notable for his domestic policies, especially his Great Society vision. Sounds like New World Order stuff. Vision, as well as his controversial leadership during the Vietnam War. He did start the Vietnam War.
Oh, no kidding.
Oh, I knew that. Bro,
I didn't know it was Lyndon B. Johnson.
Oh, love that.